ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ सप्तदशोऽध्यायः श्रद्धात्रयविभागयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच ये शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेषां निष्ठा तु का कृष्ण सत्त्वमाहो रजस्तमः। श्रीभगवानुवाच त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा देहिनां सा स्वभावजा सात्विकी राजसी चैव तामसी चेति तां शृणु सत्त्वानुरूपा सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत श्रद्धामयोऽयं पुरुषः यो यश्रद्धः स एव सः यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्षरक्षांसि राजसाः प्रेतान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये यजन्ते तामसा जनाः अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः दम्भाहङ्कारसंयुक्ताः कामरागबलान्विताः कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तान् विद्यासुरनिश्चयान् आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु आयुस्सत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः रस्या स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृद्याः आहारा सात्विकप्रियाः कट्वं ललवणात्युष्णः तीक्ष्णरूक्षविदाहिनः आहारा राजसस्येष्टा दुःखशोक आमयप्रदाः यातयामं गतरसं पूतिपर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्यं भोजनं तामसप्रियम् अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञो विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम् विधिहीनम् असृष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनम् अदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञा पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा शरीरं तप उच्यते अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव Vangmayam tapa uchyate. Mana prasada somyatvam. Maunam atma vinigraha. Bhava samshuddhiricchetat. Tapo manasamuchyate. Shraddhaya paraya taptam. Tapastatrividham naraihi. Apalakankshiभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते. सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसं चलमध्रुवं मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतं दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयते अनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतं यत्तु प्रत्युपकारार्थं फलमुद्दिश्य वा पुनः दीयते च परिक्लिष्टं तद्दानं राजसंस्मृतम् अदेशकाले यद्दानम् अपात्रेभ्यश्च दीयते असत्कृतमवज्ञातं तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देशो ब्राह्मणस्त्रिविधः स्मृतः ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिताः पुरा तस्मादोमित्युदाहृत्य यज्ञदानतपक्रियाः प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ताः सततं ब्रह्मवादिनां तदित्यनभिसन्धाय फलं यज्ञतपक्रियाः दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः क्रियन्ते मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः सद्भावे साधुभावे च सदित्येतत् प्रयुज्यते प्रशस्ते कर्मणि तथा सच्छब्दः पार्थयुज्यते यज्ञे तपसि दाने च स्थिते सदिति चोच्यते कर्म चैव तदर्थीयं सदित्येवाभिधीयते. Yeah, we'll go to the last verse towards the end. Can we go to the 26th verse, madam? 26th and 27th we have covered, but as usual, we will try to recapitulate. Yeah. Can you reduce the magnification a little? Yeah. So that we can get the Pratipadartha fully on the screen. Sadbhave sadhubhave cha sadid etat prayujyate prashaste karmani tada sachabda padha yujyate. Prashaste karmani, okay? The activities which are very noble, pious in their sanctifying nature, that also is called Sat. Sadbhave, with reference to bringing into existence. Sat. Okay, Kalatrayepi Teshtati Sat. That easiness, okay, with reference to bringing into existence. Sadhubhave cha, and with reference to a noble life, righteous life, dharma yukta life. Sat iti etat. This is Sat prayujyate. It is properly used. Padha he Arjuna tadha. So too, Sat Shabdaha, the word Sat, Prashaste Karmani, with reference to a sanctifying karma, with reference to a karma which is for Loka Sangrahardham, with reference to karma which is Punitam, with reference to karma which is Hita Dayakam for the Janasammoham. Then also this Sat is Yujyate is used. The Sat is used with reference to bringing into existence and referring to a righteous life. So to Arjuna, the word Sat is used for a sanctifying karma. For a sanctifying karma. Supposing Sat is indicative of also that which is in existence. Supposing in a family, there was no progeny. The wife and husband, they did not have children for a long time. And they prayed to the Lord, and the Lord, as though, has bestowed them with a son. And when the advent of the son, that is a Sadbhave. Previously, that son was not there. Now, the son has as though come into existence. Then that also is used. Then they do the sanctifying karmas for the youngster, for the infant. That also Sat is used. Om Tat Sat Iti. Om Tat Sat Iti. At the beginning of any activity endowed with Shraddha, and at the end of any activity, again imbued with Shraddha, these three words are used. Om Tat Sat. Yajne tapasi dane cha sthitihi saditi chochyate. Karma chaiva tadardhiyam sadicheva abhidhiyate. Yajne, with reference to a ritual. Okay, this ritual could be smarta ritual. Smarta ritual means what? That which is available through the smriti vakyas. Or it may be shruti vakyas, an yajna, an yagam, an ishtam, like that, all those things. Tapasi, with reference to religious discipline. Danecha, with reference to giving danam. Sthitihi, that commitment, the nishta of the yajamani, that nishta of the yajamani. Sat iti cha uchyate. It is also called sat. Karma cha eva, and indeed a karma which is noble. Tadadhiyam, for their sake. Sat iti eva abhidhiyate. For their sake means what? What is that for their sake? For the ritual and for religious discipline, for dhanam. Tadadhe means in respect of these three. Okay? And these three, they are not limited to three. The rituals can be many. The tapasas can be many. Okay? The types of dhanam can be many. So, for their sake means in respect of these three activities, sat iti eva abhidhiyate. It's also called sat. A commitment with reference to a ritual, a religious discipline, and giving. Giving is dhanam, is called sat. And a karma for their sake or for the sake of Ishvara is also called sat. For the sake of Ishvara means what? That is what? Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yajjuhoshi, dadasi yat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Where did we get this sloka? In what chapter? Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yajjuhoshi, dadasi yat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Yajjuhoshi, what yajna you do? Yajjuhoshi. Yadasnasi, whatever you eat. Okay, what yadasnasi? Yajjuhoshi, yadasnasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya. Whatever the austerity you undertake, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. You do that with an attitude of offering unto me. This in the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. And immediately Bhagavan said, Shubha Ashubha Phalairevam Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi. Hey, beware Arjuna, beware all the Bhaktajanas. Shubha Ashubha Phalairevam. This Shubha Phalam and Ashubha Phalam, both of them have the nature of binding a person from the moksha sadhana. Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi. And how to get rid of that? You must dissociate yourself from the karma phala. That is why Ishwararpana. With Ishwararpana buddhya, sada karma kuru. That is the meaning here. A commitment with reference to a ritual, religious discipline, and giving is called sat. And a karma for their sake is also called sat. Now the final verse of the 17th chapter. ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam krutam chayat asat ityuchyate partha nacha tatretya noiha. Noiha, not here. Nacha, tat pretya, not hereafter, when you drop your body. What does it mean? Ashraddhaya tam dattam. With ashraddha, with devoid of shraddha, without shraddha, hutam dattam, whatever yajna yaga you do. Hutam is whatever you have offered unto the fire. Hutam. Dattam is danam, that you have given. Tapastaptam, whatever austerities you have undertaken. Krutam chayat, whatever righteous other karmas you have undertaken. Krutam chayat, all those things. Ashraddhaya, when you have done it without shraddha, asadityuchate pardha. It is all said asat. Whatever you have done, you may have done great yajnam, yagam, you may have made the best of dhanams, and you may have undertaken a lot of tapas and noble activities you have undertaken to please the community and get a good name for yourself, and without any shraddha. There is no thought of Ishvara, there is no thought of Shastra, there is no thought of either Shruti or Smriti. There is no thought of the Guru. There is no thought of your own moksha sadhana. So all that is ashraddhaya krutam. All these are done without any shraddha. Then all those activities, the phalas thereof, asat ityuchyate. Asat. It asat means what? That it does not accrue to you at all. Asat. That which does not have any purpose. Asadichuchyate partha nacha tat pretyanoiha. Neither here you will accrue the phalam, nor amutra, nor hereafter. Yet that which is ashraddhaya, without shraddha, hutam, is offered in a religious ritual, offered onto the fire. Dattam, that is given, danam, taptam tapam, whatever tapas you have undertaken, religious discipline, krutam cha, and that which is done, asat iti uchyate, is called asat. Asat is what? That which is not is asat. Sat is what? That which cannot be negated in any period of time is sat. So this is said to be asat, that which does not serve its purpose. Hey Pardha, tat cha, and that, na pretya, not after death. That phalam, not after death you will get. Na o iha, nor even here. That which is without shraddha, offered in a religious ritual, given as charity, performed as a religious discipline, and that karma which is done is called asat. That which does not serve its purpose, and that is not fruitful here and hereafter. This is the prabodha of Bhagavan. And what does it mean? Whatever you do, whatever tapas you undertake, whatever ritual you contemplate and do, all those things must be nicely immersed in extreme shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparaha samyatendriyaha jnanam ladva param shantim achirena adhigachyate. Where did we get this sloka? Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. The one endowed with shraddha will obtain jnanam. Labhate jnanam. Tatparaha. And he has Ishvara as the para. Tatparaha. Samyatendriyaha. And he has mastered his sense organs and the mind. Samyatendriya. That indriya will include the mind also there. Samyatendriyaha. Jnanam ladva. After having acquired that knowledge, Jnanam ladva param shantim, the supreme peace. Achirena adhigachyati, in no time he will attain to. Where did we get this verse? You people should do Swadhyaya of the Gita. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. You shall not be carefree regarding Swadhyaya, your own self-study. Okay, this is in the 4th chapter. This is the jnanam you can obtain with Shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Ashraddhadhana purushaha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. In which chapter is this verse? A time will come when you people will immediately answer. The more of the Gita chanting we do, the more alert you people will become.
Chapter 15.
chapter, this last verse, huh? Last verse, Ashraddhadhana Purushaha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vatmani. I will give you the following verse. Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagadavyakthamurtina Mastani Sarvabhutani Nachaham Teshvavastitaha. Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yogam. Good. Thank you. You made an attempt. Good. So this is the culminating verse of the Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Shraddha is required. It is of utmost importance. And without Shraddha, you cannot understand the Gita Vakyas at all. With Shraddha, you can assimilate what Bhagavan has been teaching all along. Bhagavan has taught for 16 chapters thus far. The first chapter pertained to both Sanjaya and Arjuna, more to Arjuna than to Sanjaya. Okay? And the Shraddha is of utmost importance. Without Shraddha, nothing can be achieved. In any Laukika Karyam also, any worldly affairs also, without Shraddha, what can you achieve? Anything is obtained with Shraddha. Sometimes you may fail because of very unforeseen circumstances which are beyond your control. That is okay. Accept that with a smile, because that activity, the karma phala of that activity, you have already surrendered unto the Lord, and the Lord has desired that the karma phala will not be a kind of a favorable to you. It is okay. It is a blessing from the Lord. I will take that as prasadam from the Lord. With that bhavana, even that phala will be acceptable to you. Right? Om Tat Sat Iti Shriman Mahabharate Shatasahasrikayam Samhitayam Vaiyasikyam Srimad Bhishma Parvani Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Saptadashodhyayaha अध अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसंन्यासयोगः अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुम् त्यागस्य च हृषीकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन श्रीभगवानुवाच काम्यानां कर्मणां न्यासं संन्यासं कवयो विदुः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं प्राहुत्यागं विचक्षणाः. We'll stop here. We'll take up this chapter after we are through with the recap of both Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha. Okay? Before that, we will do the Gita Mahatmyam. Then we will go on to the recap of all the 17 chapters we have done thus far. I will render the smaller version of the Gita Mahatmyam. Belaji will do the longer version. Okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Mahatyam Gita Shastramidam Punyam Yapatet Prayata Puman Vishnu Padamavapnoti Bhayashokadivarjitaha Gita Jayana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya cha नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृत् गीताम्बसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनं गीता सुगीता कर्तव्या किमन्यै शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिश्रुताः भारतामृत सर्वस्वं विष्णोः वक्त्राद्विनिश्रुतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्र तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा. Belaji, please take over.
Yeah, Nanaji, just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। धरोवाच भगवन् परमेशान भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी प्रारब्धं भुज्यमानस्य कथं भवति हे प्रभो। श्रीविष्णुर्वाच प्रारब्धं भुज्यमानो हि गीताभ्यासरतः सदा स मुक्त स सुखी लोके कर्मणा नोपलिप्यते। महापापादिपापानि गीताध्यानं करोति चेत् क्वचित् स्पर्शं न कुर्वन्ति नलिनीदलमम्बुवत्। गीताया पुस्तकं यत्र पाठः प्रवर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि तत्र वै सर्वे देवाश्च ऋषयो योगिनः पन्नगाश्च ये गोपाल बालकृष्णोऽपि नारद ध्रुवपार्षदैः सहायो जायते शीघ्रं यत्र गीता प्रवर्तते। यत्र गीता विचारश्च पठनं पाठनं श्रुतं तत्राहं निश्चितं पृथ्वी निवसामि सदैव हि। गीताश्रये अहं तिष्ठामि गीता मे चोत्तमं गृहम्। गीता ज्ञानमुपाश्रित्य त्रीन् लोकान् पालयाम्यहम्। गीता मे परमा विद्या ब्रह्मरूपा न संशयः। अर्धमात्राक्षरा नित्या स्वनिर्वाच्य पदात्मिका चिदानन्देन कृष्णेन प्रोक्ता स्वमुखतोऽर्जुनं वेदत्रयी परानन्दा तत्त्वार्थज्ञानसंयुता यो अष्टादश जपो नित्यं नरो निश्चलमानसः ज्ञानसिद्धिं स लभते ततो याति परं पदम्। पाठे असमर्थ सम्पूर्णे ततो अर्धं पाठमाचरेत तदा गोदानजं पुण्यं लभते नात्र संशयः त्रिभागं पठमानस्तु गङ्गास्नानफलं लभेत षडंशं जपमानस्तु सोमयागफलं लभेत एकाध्यायं तु यो नित्यं पठते भक्तिसंयुतः रुद्रलोकमवाप्नोति गणो भूत्वा वसेच्चिरम् अध्याये श्लोकपादं वा नित्यं यः पठते नरः स याति नरतां यावन् मनवन्तरं वसुन्धरे गीताया श्लोकदशकं सप्तपञ्चचतुष्टयम् द्वौ त्रिनेकं तदर्धं वा श्लोकानां यः पठेन्नरः चन्द्रलोकमवाप्नोति वर्षाणामयुतं ध्रुवम् गीतापाठसमायुक्तो मृतो मानुषतां व्रजेत गीताभ्यासं पुनः कृत्वा लभते मुक्तिमुत्तमाम् गीतेत्युच्चारसंयुक्तो म्रियमाणो गतिं लभेत गीतार्थश्रवणासक्तो महापापयुतोऽपि वा वैकुण्ठं समवाप्नोति विष्णुना सह मोदते गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम् गीतामाश्रित्य बहवो भूभुजो जनकादयः निर्धूतकल्मषालोके गीतायाताः परं पदम् गीतायाः पठनं कृत्वा महात्म्यं नैव यः पठेत वृथा पाठो भवेत् तस्य श्रम एव युदाहृतः एतत् महात्म्यसंयुक्तं गीताभ्यासं करोति यः स तत्फलमवाप्नोति दुर्लभां गतिमाप्नुयात् सूत उवाच महात्म्यमेतद् गीताया मया प्रोक्तं सनातनं गीतान्ते च पठेद्यस्तु यदुक्तं तत्फलं लभेत इति श्रीवारापुराणे श्रीमद्गीता महात्म्यं सम्पूर्णम् श्रीकृष्णार्पणम्
Good. Thank you so much. Very well done. Now we will try to recapitulate what all we have covered thus far in the Bhagavad Gita. We started with the first chapter, which is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Then went on to the second chapter, which is called the Sankhya Yoga. The third chapter, Karma Yoga. Fourth chapter, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Fifth chapter, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Sixth chapter, Atma Samyama Yoga, also called Dhyana Yoga. Seventh chapter is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Eighth chapter is Akshara Brahma Yoga. Ninth is Raja Vidya Rajaguhya Yoga. The 10th is the Vibhuti Yoga. 11th is Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. The 12th is Bhakti Yoga. 13th is Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. The 14th is Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. 15th is Purushottama Yoga. 16th is Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. 17th is what we have just covered, which is Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. What have we gained from Bhagavan's teaching? What is the essence of the teaching which we have picked up through these 17 chapters? If you just analyze, just recapitulate and think back so that it will be possible for you to understand and also exclaim, oh, all that we have covered My God, we have forgotten quite a bit of that. Let us do something, some sadhana, some manana, and some swajaya, so that we tend not to forget the teaching of Bhagavan. That will be Shraddha driven. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparaha samyatendriyaha jnanam ladva param shantim achirena adhigachyati. So first chapter, what did we learn? It is the chapter depicting Arjuna's confusion, conflict with dharma and adharma, and his sorrow also. And he, in a fit of tremendous compassion for all the fighting forces, Swa and Para, he happened to tell Bhagavan, Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna, Nacha Rajyam Sukhanicha, Kim no Rajyena Govinda, Kim Bhogayir Jivitena va. And towards the end, what did he say? It is going to be beneficial to me if unarmed. If I am unarmed and the people in the opposing camp, Dhritarashtraha, armed, and they eliminate me, they kill me, tanme kshemataram bhavet. Even that is going to be beneficial. Not my fighting and eliminating both the opposing armies, and they are not going to keep quiet. They will eliminate our armies. So there will be a lot of kulakshayam. I don't want all this. And after saying that, he threw the bow and arrows and he sat in the chariot. Then Bhagavan, what did he say? Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam anadya justama swargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. In the second chapter. Hey, where from did you get this petty-mindedness at a time of such an importance? You are required to release arrows and eliminate the opposing adharmic forces. What is this, Arjuna? Klaibyam asmakam apardha naitatvayupapajyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam chaktva uthishta parantapa. Get rid of this weak-mindedness. Get up, Arjuna. Then Arjuna protests. He is thinking still that Krishna is his brother-in-law, Krishna is his charioteer, Krishna is his Sakha, Krishna is his Mitra, and Krishna is his dear friend. With that, he said, how do you expect, hey Madhusudana, you went on killing a lot of Rakshasas. Hey Keshini Sudana, you have eliminated Keshi, but how do you expect me to eliminate the Guru and the Bhishmacharya? Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhuktum bhakshamapi haloke, etc. He said, and Bhagavan listened to all that. Bhagavan was a great listener. All through the first chapter, he was the best listener. Okay? He was the best listener. Another listener who did not profit from Sanjaya's narration of the Bhagavad Gita is, of course, the blind fellow. Blind physically, blind mentally. That Dhritarashtra. That fellow listened to all the 700 verses with no impact on him at all. Bhagavan Krishna listened to Arjuna very, very attentively and almost burst into laughing. And he said, what? Hey Arjuna, ashotyanam mashochastum prajnavadamscha bhashase. You are grieving unnecessarily for that which does not require any grief. Prajnavadamscha bhasha, and also talking as though you are a pandita. Nanushocanti panditaha. The panditaha will not grieve like this. And then went on the Gita Shastram. For a number of verses, the Sankhya Shastram. Sankhya is what? Samyak khyayate atmajnana iti Sankhyaha. That which regarding atmajnana is very well unfolded is Sankyam. And that went on and on. And afterwards, Bhagavan talked about dharma, and Bhagavan also talked of karma yoga. The beginning, the seed of karma yoga was planted in the Sankhya yoga in the second chapter itself. Then the third chapter ensued. And at the end of the second chapter, Bhagavan covered how Sthita Prajna would be, how to identify him. And he said, Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha, Sukheshu vigata spruhaha, Vetaraga bhaya krodaha, Sthitadihi munihi uchyate. That kind of person. And Yanisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagati samyami. Esyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashato munehe. What common people like you and I would deem as the day for that jnani. It is kind of night. And what is night for us? That is day for him. And what is night for us? That which we are unaware of at night when we sleep. And what is night? We do not know anything about Brahma Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. We don't know anything at all. For that, the Jnani is awake. Yanisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Samyami. Whatever is Nisha, night, for Sarvabhutanam Tasyam, in that night, Samyami, the Jnanavan Purushaha, is Jagarti, is awake. He is awake to the Brahma Jnana. Esyam Jagrati Bhutani. To what are we aware of? We are aware of the Jagat and the Maya Jagat. The Jagat which is not. In that, we keep on getting round and round. In that merry-go-round Jagat. In that, the Jnani is asleep. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sanishyata nishapachito munehe. He deems that as the night for him, and he will be unaware of that, unaware of the happenings in the Jagat. All these things beautifully he said. And finally, he said in the second chapter, Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram apaha pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kama kame. It is not that the desirer of objects, sense objects, who will attain to peace. Who attains to peace? Shashanti mapnoti. Who apuryamanam achala pratishtam. What simile is given? Achalam, that which is immovable. Pratishtam, which is established in its own glory. Samudraha, the ocean. Samudram apaha pravishanti yadvate. Nadinam apaha, from the various rivers, the apaha, they enter the samudram, and without upsetting the samudram at all. These apaha coming from the samudram are equated to as though the desirable objects. And this samudram is equated to the jnani. And the waters of the rivers, all of them coming into the samudram, they have no upsetting influence of the samudram at all. Then that samudram is equated to the jnani. Saha shanti mapnoti na kama kame. That kind of a jnani only will attain to everlasting peace, not the one who keeps on thinking about what other object do I acquire, what else, what other desire do I desire. These kind of people, they can never get shanti at all. And karma yoga started. And Bhagavan started saying, Asmin loke dvividhanishta. Asmin loke asmin dvividhanishta. There are two lifestyles, Arjuna. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. Jnana, okay, Atma Jnana. That is for the sannyasinam. And karma yogena yoginam. Karma yoga anusthana bhavanena for people with pravrutti. The first one is for the nivritti, the one who has given up all actions and chosen only jnanam, jnana samupadyanam eva. That is a sannyasi lakshanam. And the pravritti lakshanam is gruhasthas like you and I. We have to adopt the karma yoga anusthana bhavana. And the fundamentals of karma yoga is what? Number one, detachment from the karma phala. Number 2, karma phala is always offered to the Lord. Ishwararpana buddhiya karma kuru. Then the third one is what? Take whatever the result that comes after the end of your activity as prasadam from the Lord. Ishwararpana buddhi, prasada buddhi, asakti buddhi sarvatra, karma yogam kuru. And with that, you will not have the karma phala attached to you if you carefully plan your life. Not only that, along with the karma yoga anusthana, you must strive for jnana samupadhyana. These two are the ordained vidhis for the grihasthas like us. And Bhagavan went on saying, whoever is an exemplar, everybody will take that exemplar as a guide and they will go according to what the conduct of that exemplar is. Yajyadacharati sreshtaha tattadevetaro janaha sahayat pramanam kurute lokaha tadanuvartate. These kind of things beautifully Bhagavan has said. And Bhagavan also said, hey Arjuna, there's nothing I need to obtain. There is nothing I desire to obtain also. Nanavaptam avaptavyam vartayeva cha karmani. There is nothing that I need. There's nothing I need to strive for. But still, I keep on conducting myself in the midst of activities, intense activities. Why? If I don't undertake activities like any other people will consider me as the Sreshta Purusha and follow me. If I don't do any activity, they will also not do and they will get destroyed. So that should not be done. And another thing, beautifully Bhagavan said, Na buddhi bhedam janayeta jnanam karma sanginam. People who are dwelling in karma, okay, and not paying much attention to jnana. If they are doing these rituals, that yagam, this pujanam, that sevanam, etc. Those people, ajnaninam, na buddhi bhedam janayet, karma, na buddhi bhedam janayet ajnanam karma yoginam. Those people don't unsettle their mind. But what you do those kind of activities, vidvan yukta samacharan. How you do those activities, let them see and then follow you. Don't unsettle their mind. They are doing something good. If you say, hey, why are you doing this? This is useless. You study the Gita only, nothing else is required, no pujanam, nothing. You need not even light a lamp to the Lord. The Lord is you, etc. Don't unsettle their minds like that. Na buddhi bhedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidvan yukta samacharan. Be a wise person and have them follow you at all times. All those things are beautifully mentioned in the 3rd chapter. 4th chapter began Bhagavan mentioning that yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata apyutthanam adharmasya tada atmanam srijamya. Whenever there is decline in dharma and ascendancy in adharma, then I will create myself. How do you create yourself, Bhagavan? Prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Prakriti, the Prakriti, that is the Maya, that it is in my command. And with that, I will as though take birth. Then he went on saying, this 4th chapter's name is what? Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. That is Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Jnanena. Endowed with Jnanam, you renounce action. How do you renounce action? Beautiful verses. Karmani akarmaya pasyet akarmani cha karmayah sa buddhiman manushyeshu sayuktaha krishna karma krita. And for all this, Shraddha is required. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatpara samyatendriyaha jnanam ladva param shantim achirena adhigacchati. Then he wound up the 4th chapter saying, there is nothing more sanctifying than jnanam. Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram midabhiha vichyate. Tatsvayam yoga samshiddha kalena atmane vindati. There is nothing which is more purifying than jnanam. So get on to the acquisition of jnanam. And how will you get on to the acquisition of jnanam? You have to pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. You prostrate to those gurus who are tattvadarshinaha, who have seen the truth, tattvadarshinaha, and ask them, hey Guru, what is bandham? What is moksham? How do I attain to that moksham? What is the shackling influence on me? How do I get rid of this? Then pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. You do service also to them. They will be extremely pleased with you. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha. They will give you that jnanam, which is going to be having a tremendous elevating influence in your moksha sadhanam. Then he wound up the 4th chapter. 5th chapter is what? Karma sannyasa yoga. Karma sannyasa. How do you get rid of karma? Karma sannyasa. That is, you are renouncing karma. How do you renounce karma? Even though you are amidst intense activity, you can denounce karma. How? Pashyan shrunvan sprishan jigran, ashnan gachan swapan shwasan, pralapan visrujan grundhan, unmishan nimishan api, indriyani indriyadeshu vartanta iti dharayan. That person who is an Atmanishtaha, whatever activities are going on, whatever activities he is amidst them, he has the conviction that guna guneshu vartanta, the gunas are immersed in their activities. Parantu aham na kinchit karomi, I am not doing anything. Iti tattvavit manyeta, that is a karma sannyasa. Tad buddhayaha, tad atmanaha, tannishtaha, tad parayanaha, gachanti apunaravritim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Beautiful verses. They are always committed to that. And those people committed to jnanam, those people, what is their lakshana? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastene shunichaiva swapakecha panditaha samadashinaha. In all those things, they see only the samavastu, which is Ishvara, which is Kitaya. Everywhere they see only that. Always, they always have the conviction that whatever thought is happening in their mind, the very happening of the thought, that vritti pravaha, is because of Ishvara. In every vritti, Ishvara is there. They anoint all their thoughts with Ishvara bhavana. That is the karma sannyasa. Then the 6th chapter is what? Dhyana yoga. In the Dhyana yoga, Bhagavan has, the first verse itself has given the definition of a sannyasi. Anashritaha karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnihi na cha akriyaha. Not that person who does not do anything, not that person who has given up Agnihotra, he is not a sannyasi. But who is a sannyasi? Anashritaha karma phalam, not dependent on the karma phala. Anashritaha karma phalam, karyam karma karoti yaha. Karyam karma means what? Shastra vihita karma. Karyam karma means whatever is the nirdesham of the Shastra. Shastra vihita karma karoti yaha, whoever does, saha sannyasi cha yogi cha. That fellow is a sannyasi, that fellow is a yogi, not the other fellow. Because in the 3rd chapter itself, Bhagavan said, nahi kasyat kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krite. You can never remain actionless even for a second. Even if your karmendriyas and jnanendriyas are not active, with your mind, you keep on thinking, is that not an action? So it is not possible. The karma sannyasa is jnanena, like it is mentioned in the 4th chapter. And what is that jnana? That Atma does not do anything. Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya surjiti prabhu. Na karma phala samyogam swabhavastu pravartate. That swabhava is prakriti. Prakriti, because of the prakriti janya gunas, they are conducting themselves in their pursuits. Parantu aham na kinchit karomi iti tattva vitamanyeta. That is how the 5th chapter ended. Okay, that is how the 6th chapter began. Atma Samyama Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Then Bhagavan has given a lot of inputs for Dhyanam and contemplation. Dhyanam and contemplation. Suhurun Mitra Yudasina Madhyasta Dveshya Bandhushu Sadhushvapi Papeshu Samabuddhir Visishyate. You must develop that Samabuddhi amongst all these people. And how you do when you are at the seat of meditation or contemplation, if the mind keeps on running here and there, what do you have to do? Yato yato nischarati manaha chanchalam astiram tatastato niyamyetat atmaniyeva vasham nayet. Wherever the mind runs, there and there, you as though go and employ the mind in the thought of Atma. Atma Darshana Prayatnam Kuru. And finally, he mentions to Arjuna, after Arjuna made some inquiries, that he said, Nahi Kalyana Krit Kaschit Durgatim Tata Gacchati. The person who has started on an auspicious note, even though without being highly successful, which he was aiming at, if he passes away, no matter. And prapya punya krutam lokanushitva shashvati samaha shuchinam srimatam gehe yoga brashto bhijayate. That yoga brashta will enjoy life beautifully in the paraloka and will take birth in some beautiful families. With that, he will renew his endeavors for jnana samuparjana. Then the 7th chapter started. Thus far, the Tvam-pada Lakshyartha was covered in the first 6 chapters. Then the next 6 chapters covered the Tat-pada Lakshyartha, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. In that, Bhagavan has indicated that Tat is what? Bhagavan said, Ahameva Tat. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. There is nothing other than me. I am everywhere. I am tatamidam sarvam. Then the 8th chapter. 8th chapter, Arjuna asked, what is Brahma? What is Adibhutam? What is Adiyajna? Etc. All those things beautifully Bhagavan answered. And said, hey Arjuna, whatever activity you may be undertaking, always think of me. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yujhacha. Whatever activity you undertake, have the underlying influence of my thought and let the activity go on. Then it does not matter. At the time of departure from this, you will attain to me only. You will attain to me only. And in this 8th chapter, there is an indication regarding Brahmaji's daytime, Brahmaji's nighttime, and the Yuga Dharmas, all those things, and also the Jivas at the time of dissolution, where do they go? And at the time of creation, where do they come from? Avyakta Vyakta Sarvaha Prabhavatya Ragame. Ratyagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta sanyake. All those things are mentioned. And finally, he wound up the 8th chapter saying, today I think I'll take just about 3-4 minutes extra, don't mind. He said, Vedeshu yajneshu, Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva, etc. Whatever is pratishtam, tat sarvam idam viditva, you will cross over. Knowing this tattvam, you will cross over all those things, truths, which are mentioned in the Vedas. Then the 9th chapter started. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yogam. The kingly education and kingly secret. In that only the 2 verses I have given you. And finally, in that Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yogam, he said, people who are Swargadilashaha, they go there and Tetam Bhuktva Swargalokam Vishalam, Kshine Punye Matyalokam Vishanti. When their punya is exhausted, they will have to perforce come back to the Matyaloka. But whoever ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate, without any other thought. Ye janaha bhakti hi avyabhicharini mam paryupasate, tesham satata yuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will take care of what they require and also protect after giving them what they want. And he said finally, Manmana bhavamad bhaktaha, madhyaji mam namaskuru, mame vaishyasi yutvaivam, atmanam matparayanaha. Have the thought of me all the time. Be my bhakta, manmana bhavamaktaha, mad bhaktas, etc. All these things, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yogam. Then the 10th chapter is what? Vibhuti Yogam, the glories of Bhagavan. Arjuna requested, hey Bhagavan, in what all can I think of you? Please enumerate all those things. Then Bhagavan went on saying all those vibhutis. Okay. And finally he said, Yajyat vibhuti mat sattvam Shri Madurjitameva va tattadeva vagachatvam mama tejumsha sambhamam. There is nothing in this jagat which is bereft of me. I am in everything. I am in and through everything that you see. Why are you asking about my glories? In what object you can meditate upon me? Anything you can meditate, anything you see, anything you hear, anything you perceive through your other sense organs. I am in all of them. Then the 11th chapter is what? Vishwarupa Darshana. Arjuna again requested, hey, the glories can I see in one form of yours? Then Bhagavan has shown all those things. And that was a wonder. Arjuna was frightened. Arjuna was frightened because in that Vishwarupa, that darshanam he was doing, he did not place himself in the Vishwarupa. He was as though separate from that. Like he was seeing the movie, which is a frightening movie. You are not a part of that movie, but you are a spectator of the movie. You will, of course, get frightened. So this kind of a movie which Bhagavan was showing, he was utterly frightened. And he said, hey, Bhagavan, please withdraw this. I'm really frightened. Finally, Bhagavan withdrew and he said, Mat karma krun mat paramaha, mad bhakta sangavajitaha, nirvaira sarvabhuteshu, yaha samamete pandava. If you conform to this diktat, you will attain to me only, Arjuna. Then the 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti is not just lighting a lamp, but Bhakti will have lighting a lamp. But lighting a lamp alone is not bhakti. Chanting a sloka is alone not bhakti. Okay? Prostrating to the Lord alone is not bhakti. What is bhakti is given at the end of that bhakti yoga. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitraha karunayevacha nirmamaha nirahankaraha samadukka sukakshame santushta satatam yogi yatatma druda nischayah Mayarpita mano buddhihi yo madbhakta same priyaha. All those things beautifully enumerated. And the bhaktas lakshanas, Bhagavan mentioning, he said, that bhakta is my priyaha. He is very dear to me. All those things. So whenever we talk of bhakti, we must acquire those qualities. Okay. In addition to the little karmas that we do in respect of bhakti, which are welcome, which are to be continued, but we should not be deluded into believing that that alone is bhakti. That is a kind of a manifestation of bhakti, but bhakti happens in the mind, which is always wedded to the thought of Kitaya. That is bhakti. Then the 13th chapter till the 18th chapter, that is the Asi Padalakshadaha. The identity between the Jiva and Ishvara is conveyed in the last 6 chapters, which is called the third Shatka of the Gita Mahavakya. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetra kshetrajnayo jnanam yatta jnanam matamama. Hey, that is the jnanam. The jnanam regarding what is kshetra, who is kshetrajna, and where all is kshetrajna. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am the kshetrajna in all the kshetras. And what is kshetra? The entire jagat is a kshetra. Entire Jagat is a kshetra of which you are a part. You are an insignificant part of the entire Jagat, which is Mayodbhavam, which is Jadam, which is Trigunatmikam. And the one Sakshi is Kshetrajna. And the Kshetrajna is in every Kshetra. Same thing was conveyed in the Vibhuti Yoga. Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashayastitaha. Aham Aditya Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Antayeva Cha. That was conveyed in the 10th chapter. Same thing is conveyed here. And Bhagavan wound up this saying, I am the Kshetrajna, and understand this. And he has covered Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnanam, Jneyam, Prakriti, Purusha, everything very beautifully. Then the 14th chapter started. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogaha. Brahmashriya Sattarajastamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. Tataha Jagat Sambhutaha. Out of the Jagat, you and I are there. And so we have what? Karanam is Maya. Karyam is you and I. Karye, in the Karya, which is effect, Karanam Anuvurtihi. Karanam must be there. In the Karya, in the effect, Karanam must be there. Okay? So, the Trigunatmika Maya has produced you and I, and we are Trigunatmikam. And that Gunatraya, how the three gunas torment us, what are their lakshanas was very nicely given in the 14th chapter. And also Bhagavan has indicated how to identify a gunatitaha. Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava nadveshti sampravruttani nanivruttani kankshati. Then the 15th chapter started, which is Purushottama Yoga. And in that Purushottama Yoga, Bhagavan happened to mention the samsara vriksha. And the samsara vriksha has to be cut asunder with what? With the sword of knowledge. With the sword of knowledge, you cut away this samsara vriksha, which has the roots urdhvam moolam adhishyakam, ashvatham prahuravyayam. And urdhvam moolam is what? Brahma Shriya Maya. And Maya is the karanam for this jagat of which you are a part. And you are swimming in this samsara. How to get out of this? Jnana khadgena, jnanasina chitva, uttishta bharata. Cut it asunder with the sword of knowledge. And towards the end, in the Purushottama Yoga, Bhagavan happened to mention there are two Purushas, Kshara and Akshara. Kshara Purusha is the Kshetra. Akshara Purusha is the Maya. Okay? And there is a Purushottama. Purushottama is I. I am Purushottamaha. Dvavimau Purushav loke ksharascha eva cha. Ksharas sarvani bhutani kutasto akshara uchyate. Uttama Purushastvanyah Paramatmechudahkrutah Yo Lokatrayam Avishya Bhibatyavya Ishvaraha. That Purushottama Lokatrayam Avishya, and having as though engulfed all the lokas in and through, imman and everywhere, and Sarvagataha, this Purushottamaha, he is sustaining all the lokas also. That Purushottama is I. Atosmi loke vedesmin pradhita Purushottamaha. That is how Purushottama Yoga wound up. Then we have seen the Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. The first three verses are of Daiva Sampatti. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi, Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi, Danam Damascha Yajnascha, Swadhyaya, Tapaha, Adyavam, Ahimsa, Satchamakrodaha, Chagaha, Shantihi, Apaishwanam, Daya Bhuteshu, Aluluttam, Madhavam, Hrira Chapalam, Tejaha, Kshama, Dhriti, Shaucham, Adroho, Natimanita, Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. All these things are fully available in a person who is born to the Daiva Sampatti. And he then went on enumerating the Asura Sampatti, warning us to get out of that kind of a thing. Because if you are a mumukshu, you must acquire the Daiva Sampatti and have the Karma Yoga Anushtana with Jnana Nishta, and then finally you will Achirena Adhigachyati. Then the Shraddhatre Vibhaga Yoga, which we have for the past 1 week, we have been studying that. Shraddhatre Vibhaga Yoga. Bhagavan's intention is to drive the requisite Shraddha in us. Without Shraddha, there is nothing you can acquire. And the Shraddha is of three kinds. Sattvik Shraddha, Rajasic Shraddha, Tamasic Shraddha. Rajasic and Tamasic Shraddhas ought to be forsaken, and you have to very, very carefully acquire the Sattvika Shraddha, which is only beneficial in your Jnana Samupadhyana efforts. And he wound up very nicely. That is how Shraddhatre Vibhaga Yogam over. We will take up 18th chapter, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, after we are through with Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha. Why I said we will as though recap these two texts is from the questions that have been emanating from you people. I have a feeling that the foundation through Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha is perhaps not adequate. That is why, to render it adequate, we will recap these two texts and then go on to the 18th chapter. Okay? Sorry, I have taken a lot of your time. Thank you. Hari Om. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om, everybody.
Thank you so much, Nanaji. Thank you so much.
Dhanyavad,
Om,
Nana
Nana.
ji.
Hari
धन्यवाद
Om.
नानाजी.
Thank
Hari
you,
Om.
Nana ji.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
हरि ओम धन्यवाद नानाजी.